I'm moving to Korea! Hi everyone! It's been such a long time since I made a YouTube video. Last year was a year with a lot of transitioning. I needed time to think about where my life is going, which direction my life is going to take. I decided that I need to take a little break with YouTube as well. I mean, I haven't posted that much anyways. But this year, in 2022, I wanted to start out my YouTube channel again because it's really fun to make videos. I am moving to Korea, actually in 4 days. Yeah, only 4 days left. For me, it was clear that I was going to move to Korea like in December, and I have been preparing. I have been saying goodbye to all my friends and to my family. I have been requested to kind of vlog my process moving to Korea, and this is actually just part 1 where I want to talk about like why am I going to Korea and all that stuff. Yeah, why? I think there are 2 big reasons why I am moving to Korea, or why I wanted to move to Korea. My mom is Korean, I am half Korean, and there was always a part of me that wanted to explore that side a little bit more, to explore the Korean culture. I mean, I visited Korea like 3 or 4 times, but it was just for a month. And it was always so busy, everyone knows it. When you go to Korea, you're always eating, you're always going out, and you have to meet people. So it's quite busy, but I always asked myself, how would I do living there? Like, how would I cope with the culture differences? For those who don't know, I live in Vienna. I lived in Vienna like for 7 years. Before that, I lived in Switzerland. European culture is still very different from the Korean culture. I wanted to live in Korea just to understand why Korean culture is a certain way. Just for the experience, that's one big reason, and the other one is that I wanted to study. I finished my bachelor's degree in 2020, so I had 1 gap year in 2021. I already started the master's, but I decided that it's just not really what I wanted to do. So I was just looking and exploring what options I have. I came across a master's degree in Korea, in Seoul. I applied and I got accepted. Yay! So the master's degree is for like 4 semesters, which means I will be studying there for 2 years. I am going to stay with my family, at least at first. I'm going to stay with my family because they have an extra room for me, or they made extra room for me. That's also a question a lot of people ask me, like, what is the first thing you're going to do when you arrive in Korea, or what is the one thing you're really looking forward to do in Korea? Getting to spend more time with my Korean family. I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited about my studies. That's really exciting for me to start something new. I'm excited to explore Korea, to explore the country, to visit other places than Seoul. To be honest, I'm also excited about all the difficulties I'm going to have in Korea, because I'm going there to grow personally. I always like challenges. I'm excited about having to step out of my comfort zone in order to grow. I have already mentioned it before. A little bit I'm worried about the cultural differences. I know some things about the culture, like some do's and don'ts, but I still have so much to learn. I mean, I am fluent in Korean, but if the conversation gets like more intense or longer, it is harder for me, like in English. The master's degrees is totally in Korean, so I'm a little bit worried that my Korean will not be sufficient for that, or that I would struggle a lot because, yeah, they will use like fancy words or like academic words, and I do not know them, so But I will be attending some Korean classes because I have to take the TOPIK test. It's like the official language test. I have to take it when I'm there, so I will be studying Korean as well. Another thing I'm just a little bit concerned about is the food. I can't eat like very spicy food, or I don't really eat fried stuff. I don't like it when my food is like sweet, and that's all the Korean food. No, I'm just kidding. I am excited about Korean food. I really like the traditional Korean cuisine. I hope that I can cook for myself, but I know that the groceries are really expensive in Korea, so I have to see about that. But I know Korean food is really good, so I cannot complain, really. There were a lot of things that I had to prepare, and I think maybe I'm going to do a separate video about applying to the university because there are a lot of stories about that. There were a lot of documents I had to prepare for Korea, and I had to write some essays. What is it called? A CV. I had to write a CV. And that took me a long time actually because I wanted to write it in Korean, but I had a lot of people who helped me with that, so I'm really grateful for that. So I applied for my visa, I think like 2 weeks ago, and tomorrow is actually the day where I can download my visa. I'm so happy though that the quarantine has been shortened to 7 days. In the beginning it was like 14 days of quarantine in Korea, and then it was 10. And I think they just recently changed it to 7 days, so that's great. I had to manage my time really well because there was not much time left, but I had a lot of people to meet or to say goodbye to. So that was something I had to plan beforehand as well. Packing is a little bit stressful because I have to decide what I'm going to take with me or not. I am flying with Finnair, and there I have one 23 kilo bag to check in, and then I have one carry-on for 8 kilos, and then like just a personal bag. I definitely have to add one check-in bag, or maybe I have to add another one. At the moment, I'm staying at my parents' place in Switzerland because I wanted to say goodbye to them and just spend some more quality time. I'm actually really excited to share this new journey and this new chapter of my life with you, and to share it on YouTube. Give the video a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. Bye! I'm moving to Korea.